Hello again. Remember, my name is Kevin Shea, and I may or may not be your instructor in this course. But I want to just remind you that by now, hopefully, you've already gone through the course tutorial and found out and got a little bit better with the functionality of the course. You've printed out your syllabus, and if you haven't memorized it yet, hopefully you will, so that you know the weekly expectations, especially as regards week 1. A couple of things this week. There are class introductions, basically where you will go in and you will, quote, meet your instructor again. They will post an introduction to themselves. But you will also meet all of your classmates. There is also your first weekly discussion this week, so don't just think if you go in and introduce yourself that you have fulfilled your obligation. Many students do this for one reason or another, and they find that they lose points by not participating in the first discussion, so I don't want you to take that chance. Okay, so introduce yourself, and then make sure you go into the first discussion. Depending on the size of the class, there may or may not be 1 or 2 or even more groups. However, for the most part, your instructor will let you know if you are in a specific group and whether you will be in that specific group for the entire term. This week, we're kicking you off and we're starting off with the basics. And the basics in any English grammar course revolve around parts of speech, as we demonstrated in the sample sentence that you took part in the introductory video. And so we're going to look at, and really look at, nouns, pronouns, and how nouns and pronouns are used as subjects of a sentence, okay? And we're also going to look at verbs and verb tense. Now, the whole point of a sentence is that it demonstrates action on the part of one person or thing. So if you go and you look and you can identify a verb first, this is a trick I always advise students to do. Look at a sentence and see if you can find a verb. If you find a verb, there must be someone or something doing the action of the verb. So finding the verb first will help you to identify either the noun or the pronoun that is doing the action. You also have your practice quiz that you will take, and once you become familiar with the material, nouns, pronouns, verbs, etc., then you will be able to take the weekly quiz, which will count for credit. There is also a weekly assignment that you need to do. And in this course, basically, we're going to work each week on separate entities of the sentence. So this week we're starting out with the basics, then you're going to progress, and about halfway through the course in week 4 there's going to be a midterm examination, which is basically a culmination of the first 3 weeks of the course. So you'll have 3 weeks, then a midterm, then you'll have 3 more weeks and a final exam. And depending on your instructor, the final exam may or may not take the entire course into consideration. If I'm teaching it, it definitely does. So what we're doing basically is building up toward the final week, or the 7th week, which is going to be, you're actually going to use all of these parts of grammar in one essay, and it's going to be a compare and contrast essay. I don't want to give too much away, so just get comfortable with the functionality, use your syllabus, introduce yourself, participate in the first discussion, and do a good job on both the quiz and your assignments, and hopefully I or your other instructor will see you in week 2. Good luck.